There's a reason why Donald Trump has never had a job because he really sucks at it. And it's amazing to me that while his poll numbers are going into the toilet, not far enough for me because they should be in the fucking gutter. They should be at the center, the core of the earth right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, it is amazing to me that you could be so bad at what you're doing currently and so fucking delusional that you think that you deserve another term, which is why on Trump's website they're selling Trump 2028 hats. My man, slow your fucking roll, okay? We're not even 100 days in and your shit is a mess. Welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show, dear friends. I'm exhausted. It's the end of the week here, but I know that it's not the end of the week, but let's get into it. I love that Inferno 932 said it's 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm pouring a drink. And I'm just like, I felt like that at like 10 a.m. I didn't pour a drink though, and I will after the show. But cheers, my friend. It's just, are you sick of winning yet? Like, are you sick of it? Does it feel so good? Look, I know that Donald Trump has no plans on leaving office. I said that. I've been saying it for years. I said that he gets into a second term, it will be, I don't know. I think that we will see all of the Trumps become president of the United States before they ever give up the Oval Office again. But the fact that you, less than 100 days in, are selling Trump 2028 merch and your own base is like, these tariffs, oops, I thought that they were just going to come for the Mexicans. I thought that they were just going to come for the blacks. I thought that they were just going to come for the gays and the trans and all of those other things. And now not only are eggs fucking outpriced, but now everything that I try and go and buy at Target is marked up 100%. Like, his own base isn't interested in buying his shit. But somehow Donald Trump is like, strike while the iron is lukewarm. Because here's where we find ourselves, dear friends. On major economic decisions, this is coming from the New York Times, Trump blinks and then blinks again. Trump has said his punishing tariffs would force companies to build factories in the United States. But it is far from clear that they will have the effects he predicted. And by effects he predicted, meaning he's taking his economic advice from Ron Vera. You know, Peter Navarro's fake expert that he put in his book that Jared Kushner found on Amazon. Didn't read it, because God forbid. But that's who his economic advisor is. So, yeah, he's going to blink because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Also, didn't write the art of the deal. Also, has filed bankruptcy how many times? So, my God, I wonder why the economy is doing the way that it is, because, Donald Trump is just so good at business. Ugh. Also, the profile picture. Ugh. After weeks of bluster and escalation, Trump blinked. Then he blinked again and again. He backed off his threat to fire the Federal Reserve Chairman. Probably because, I don't know, the markets were spinning out of control after he called the man a loser on his broke down social media platform and said, maybe we should have an independent Federal Reserve and not one that is dictated to by a man that's filed for bankruptcy more times than we can count on one hand. So his Treasury Secretary, acutely aware that the S&P 500 was down 10% since Trump was inaugurated. Again, folks, less than 100 days ago. Signaled he was looking for an off-ramp to avoid intensifying trade war with China. I'm not quite sure how you could intensify it more. And what off-ramp are you looking for? Is it a muzzle for Donald Trump so that he shuts the fuck up? Because that's the off-ramp that is needed, right? So they go on to write this. And this part is funny, folks. This is actually funny. Kudos to the New York Times, who I don't give kudos to a lot. Trump's encounter with reality amounted to a vivid case study in the political and economic costs of striking the hardest of hard lines. He entered this trade war imagining a simpler era in which imposing punishing tariffs would force companies around the world to build factories in the United States. He ends the month discovering, much like Columbus, that the world of modern supply chains is far more complex than he bargained for, and that it is far from clear his, quote, beautiful tariffs will have the effects he predicted. Yeah, they're not going to have the effects that you predicted because guess what? This isn't the 20th century or the 19th century. I know that the entire administration likes to exist in that time frame, but it's not actually. And the world is globally connected. And as far as America has shown itself to be unstable and unreliable, guess what's happening? Well, deals are being struck elsewhere without the United States. And why would anybody build factories here? The whole reason why corporations took their factories out of the Rust Belt was because they found cheaper labor elsewhere because they didn't have to deal with those pesky things like insurance, workers' protections, bathroom breaks, the fucking basics. So they took their businesses to build factories where? In China. So tell me why there would be a push or a desire to a foreign entity to come into the United States to build. What's the incentive? I would have no idea. But here's where things align right now. So you know how Donald Trump has been out flapping his gums all week talking about the fact that, oh, things with China are going well. And yeah, the tariffs will come down. They won't be 0, but they won't be 200 and this, that, and the other thing. And the conversations are going well. Boop, boop. China denies any suggestion it is currently in talks with the U.S. over tariffs. Just like Boo Boo the Fool. So according to the AP, who is not allowed into the White House press briefing room, which I don't know why you'd want to be in there to listen to the bobblehead lie straight to your face. This is what the AP has reported. China on Thursday, today, denied any suggestion that it was in active negotiations with the administration of US President Donald Trump over tariffs, saying that any notion, get this, any notion of progress in the matter was as groundless as, quote, trying to catch the wind. That is what folks can refer to as poetic shade. Expert. China's comments come after Trump said Tuesday that things were going, quote, fine with China, and that the final tariff rate on Chinese exports would come down, quote, substantially from the current 145%. So China just blew up your spot because you haven't been talking to them. You've been talking out loud and thinking that that is negotiation. China has said, we're not negotiating with you until you learn how to fucking respect us and there is shared dignity, right? You're not doing that. So bet we're not in conversation. So we're also not going to bend the knee. You want to have 145% tariffs on our goods? Great. We get nothing from you. Okay? So we'll survive. Not only are they doing that, but guess what else China is up to? China says it wants to partner with Canada to push back against American bullying. So, in Donald Trump's fantasy world, he was going to come in, right? Like a bull in a china shop, pun intended, gonna come in, throw his weight around, which is plenty, and everyone was just going to drop to their knees trying to get a deal with the United States because the United States, in Donald Trump's mind, is the center of the universe. And he was going to then be able to turn around and say, see what I've done? No other American president would have done what I did. Look how great I am. And you're absolutely right. No other American president would ever have done what you did because it's fucking stupid. And now China is tapping Canada on the shoulder and saying, hey, we see how the United States is treating you. We're not your enemy. China's ambassador says Beijing is offering to form a partnership with Canada to push back against American bullying, suggesting the two countries could rally other nations to stop Washington from undermining global rules. Quote, we want to avoid the situation where humanity is brought back to a world of the law of the jungle again, Chinese ambassador Wang Di told the Canadian press in a wide-ranging interview. Quote, China is Canada's opportunity, not Canada's threat, he said through the embassy's interpreter. I swear to God. Are you sick of winning yet? Because not only is China saying, we're not fucking with you, but now, because you've pissed off your allies on your continent, we're not only going to talk to Canada, we're talking to Mexico, we're talking to everybody. And we're going to say, you know what? China's been given a bad rap. You know who was giving us the worst rap? The United States. You can't trust them. We can handle all your manufacturing and all your shit. Just, we could team up. We don't need them. So the America first that Donald Trump had been championing is America alone. That's where America is going to find itself. The fact of the matter is, 77 million people said that was their guy. The only thing that Donald Trump is going to make good on are his tax breaks for the super rich. And I tell you that the phrase eat the rich doesn't come from nowhere. Just saying. Now, it's not just Donald Trump that's having a no good, very bad week. This dum-dum is as well. Elon Musk, the king of Doge, the poster child for tech. I can't stop but think always. If I was the richest person on the planet, would I be wasting my time with bullshit vendettas? Or would I don't know, spend even half, a quarter of my money, like actually trying to do good? But no, because sociopaths. Needless to say, Elon Musk got really bad news when his report came out that said Tesla in the toilet. And Tesla has lost 40 some odd percent of its worth in the last couple of months. I wonder why. Maybe it's because people have nicknamed the cars SWAT stickers. Maybe it's because your CEO gave two Nazi salutes that we all saw. Maybe it's because he's a disgusting transphobe, a disgusting white nationalist, a disgusting racist. And he has politicized his entire business in all of the wrong ways. What's funny to me is that he announced on the call with his shareholders that he's gonna take a step back from Doge starting next month, and he's just gonna spend 1 or 2 days destroying America. And then the rest of the time, he's gonna focus on trying to rehabilitate his company. The funny thing to me is that he thinks that him spending more time at Tesla is actually going to change people's minds about Tesla. The only way Tesla survives, to me, is if you dump Elon Musk and then you spend a lot of time doing a major fucking rehab of that company's image, and that you literally cut all ties. I mean, don't have Elon Musk on your board. Don't have him as CEO. Don't have him anywhere near the company. And then maybe in a couple of years, it can make a rebound. But I do not think, and maybe, folks, maybe I'm wrong, but I do not think that Elon Musk dedicating more time to a company's whose image he's destroyed is actually going to bode well for the company. But you know what? Don't have an MBA, not a business major. But I'm just saying, when a majority of the people who are buying from you live in California, and now all of these showrooms are getting protested and cars are being set on fire, and then the largest, right, purchasers of your electronic vehicles are in Europe and they don't want to fuck with you anymore. And China now is making a cheaper, better model of your electric vehicle because you decided that you were going to build a factory in China and think that you were winning because you were the first foreign vehicle that was allowed to build a factory in China. And China did a bait and switch with you, which was to train their workers on literally the inner workings of your vehicle so that they could build a better, cheaper model. So he says, starting next month, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla. Now that the major work of establishing the Department of Government Efficiency is done, he continued to support Doge for, quote, as long as the president would like me to do so and as long as it is useful. Is it useful? Is it? Because when I am agreeing with Steve Bannon, you know that hell has frozen over. Because when Steve Bannon starts to make sense, even a broken racist clock is right, I guess, twice a day. I don't know. Is that a saying? Steve Bannon says Elon Musk should provide specific accounting of fraud uncovered by Doge. What a novel idea. Quote, we need to have a very specific accounting of what he found as far as fraud goes and waste, and I mean details, said Bannon. None of this makes sense. Bannon also said he wants a letter of certification showing that no one has taken any data from the Trump administration or government, to which Semaphore's editor-in-chief Ben Smith asked, sounds like you don't trust Musk not to take data. And he was like, yeah, trust, but provide me with facts. When Steve Bannon doesn't trust you, you know you're not doing a great job. And folks, it's not just Steve Bannon that has an issue with Elon Musk. No, no. It is also Donald Trump's Secretary of the Treasury who has an issue with Elon Musk. Evidently, the two of them, Musk v. Besant, dispute erupted into West Wing shouting match. Y'all, this is according to Axios. Why it matters. The clash with both men in each other's faces showed how much Musk's personality and style have rankled some senior administration officials since he began running roughshod through agencies with Doge. The New York Times first reported Friday last week that Besant and Musk had a disagreement over who would lead the IRS. But the chest to chest, because they were actually chest to chest, clash between the two men a day earlier has not been reported previously. Quote, they were not physical in the Oval, but the president saw it. And when they carried it down the hall, that's when they did it again, the first witness said. Said a second, it was quite a scene. It was loud. And I mean loud. You know that Trump was eating that shit up, right? Because there is nothing that he loves. I mean, he's like, and let me not disparage teenagers, but he's like a Hollywood stereotypical caricature of a teen. Like, they're fighting over me. They really love me. Like, that's what Donald Trump probably thinks right now. Do you understand? Like, he likes this type of shit. He likes to create the absolute chaos. He likes to create, right, this place of instability. And then he gets everyone to fight over him. And then whoever the gladiator is that wins, then that's who he will usher to the top of the pile for the moment until somebody else drags them down. Like, I just think about this. Who wants to work in that kind of environment? Like, who thrives in that environment? You want to go into work every day, like going fisticuffs with like your coworker? Like, but this is the funny thing. This is why these people wanted to do away with diversity, equity, and inclusion and want to drag us back into the days where there were no workplace protections, right? Where these were the men that like were slapping women on the ass in their office and like calling the black guy the N-word, right? Like, this is like what we see in the headlines, folks, is just like a peek inside of their toxic, masculine, like testosterone fueled environment. It's so gross that after I read that, I wanted to take a shower. Like, I was just like, so this is what these people think like gets the job done. But you look at it. You look at it across the things that Donald Trump has done in less than 100 days, the bullying, the name calling, and all of it has proven what? That America is inept, unstable, unreliable, and on the downward slide. And I know that we use the word sliding into autocracy, and many say that using that phrase sliding is a euphemism. We are careening, right? Like, we are here. When Donald Trump is going into court to argue to ensure that children don't receive representation, when Donald Trump is calling judges who are refuting his illegal acts as insurrectionist judges, but real insurrectionists he pardons, it is like, it is such a mess. Everything is such a fucking mess. And, I'll tell you an aside. So today I was out walking, right? Like, walking is it's a thing that I do for exercise, but it's also the thing that I do to clear my mind so that I can write, etc. Put together the shows, blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking and I see this truck. And on the back of the truck, it says FU46. Right? And then it's like emblazoned with the American flag. When I tell you that it took everything in me, okay? It took everything in me. Uh, FU-46. And I wanted to like wait at the man's car because you know it's a man. I wanted to wait at the man's car and say, "How's it going now? How you feeling about 47? How's your 401k doing? You got a pension? How's that going for you? You buy eggs? You love them? How's that working out for you?" Like these people are so fucking brainwashed and so stupid that again, they wanted to impeach impeach Obama for giving them free health care, right? They wanted to like execute Biden for trying to rid the sandwich generation of six-figure student loan debt. It is just, I mean, like, it's really, it's just like, I try to, and this is why I say, you know what, trying to understand these people is a fool's errand. You know, you're never going to be able to really have dignified, thoughtful conversations with people that are brainwashed. You just are not. But there are some people that just weren't paying attention enough. Those are the people that I talk about and think that if they're in your family, you should talk to. But these people that like would put a sticker on their car, FU-46, for what? Giving us a robust economy, for rolling out vaccines, for, you know, trying to fix America's standing in the world, for caring about climate change, for telling you the truth. Like, what are you saying F you to Joe Biden for? You know, it's just like it's fascinating. It's fascinating and it makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. But that's where we are. You know, as I close out the week here on the Danielle Moodie show, I always find myself like when I get to Thursday, and you know, I don't even I say I take Friday off from doing this show live, but you know that I do Democracy-ish live and I do like 17 other shows. So I take off uh Friday evening is the basically the day that I take off, the few hours I take off. But by the time I'm telling you that we get to Thursday, I feel like I am crawling for my life over glass. Like it's just so exhausting. And so I tell you all that I hope that you have great weekend plans. I hope that you have things that you are doing. The weather is getting better, you know, at least where I am in New York. So that lifts my spirits a bit. But I'm telling you, it's like you get to the end of this week and it's like count the gray hairs. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like count them. But before I get out of here today, it is our call to action day. And so, to those of you who are new, Thursdays are the day where I like to offer a call to action. Folks who join the show are always asking, what can I do? Where can I put my resources? What can I learn more about? And so first I will say for folks, if you are here and you are new and you have not already subscribed to the Danielle Moodie channel, please do hit subscribe right now and hit that little bell so that you never miss an episode of the Danielle Moodie Show and all of the other content that I put out. Subscribing is free. And as I say, I will never put a paywall between me and information and you, because I think that that is absolutely where democracy dies. But if you are interested in supporting monetarily, as some of you do often, you can hit the super sticker, that little money sign, super sticker, and super thanks, and donate whatever it is that you would like. But please do, if you are here and you are new, please do hit subscribe to the channel. Also like, comment, and share and help the algorithm fairies. But here is our call to action today. And I want to thank our one of our fabulous moderators, Susan Thompson, who gave me the idea yesterday. I put it out and I said, folks, if you have ideas of call to action, people and organizations to lift up, please let me know. And so Susan offered that we lift up today the National Immigration Law Center. They are advancing the rights and opportunities of low-income immigrants and their loved ones. You know, we have been talking about the hideous stories coming out of this administration with regard to the 200 plus innocent men that they have sent to El Salvador's torture facility. The story that you all, I will dig into, and I'm posting a video on Saturday for TDSM weekends. So there's a story that I'm going to cover in there, friends, that is about how 4-year-olds are being left to go to court by themselves without a lawyer, without knowing English, and be able to defend themselves in a court of law. That is literally happening because the Trump administration has defunded immigration attorneys and allowing them to be able to represent young people. It's sick and it's twisted. And I get into that story on Saturday, so do look out for that video. So organizations like National Immigration Law Center are doing the Lord's work right now, and they need resources, they need help, they need people who are able to donate, but they also need people that are able to share the work that it is that they are doing. And so just a little bit of background about National Immigration Law Center. And Susan put up the website, which is www.nilc.org. So you can check it out for yourself. So that you can check it out for yourself and decide if this is an organization that you'd like to be affiliated with. I just offer what I think is important. So here is a little bit about them. Established in 1979, the National Immigration Law Center is one of the leading advocacy organizations in the U.S. dedicated to advancing and defending the rights and opportunities of low-income immigrants and their loved ones. Working at the intersection of immigration, economic, and racial justice, NILC deploys a multi-pronged strategy to secure lasting transformational change. We are building an inclusive future for low-income immigrants through impact litigation, policy advocacy, movement building, and a narrative and culture change. Our work draws strength from the partnerships we build and the power of the people we mobilize and lived experiences and expertise of the communities we serve. So, folks, again, I highly recommend, when you are looking for organizations, when you're saying to yourself, I feel helpless, I feel hopeless, what can I do in this moment? I use Thursdays as a way to lift up organizations that I believe are doing really good work. And I thank Susan again for offering this up in the mentions yesterday and bringing this organization to my attention. So, folks, everyone has a purpose in this moment. Everyone is being called to do something, right? As Michelle Obama famously said on the stage at the DNC over last summer, it was do something, right? And in this moment, we are all being called to do something. You can do something with what you have, where you are, regardless of your platform, your size, or how much money you have or don't have. You can volunteer. You can share information. You can start a book club of banned books. You can start a food garden. You can, and get to know your neighbors. You can tutor, right? You can help your local immigration offices, et cetera, et cetera. We can all do something. And if we all do something, the thing that I hope is that we build community at a time when we are being fear-mongered to, at a time when we are feeling like we need to live in silos and just do what we can to protect ourselves. That's how fascism wins. But when we band together, when we meet our neighbors, when we talk to people, when we connect to people, when we build community, it is less likely that then we will fear them. So at a time when empathy is not being modeled to us, at a time when we have no leader and are leaderless, look in the mirror. You have something to offer. You can do something to help someone. The times are tough. And when you can't find the light, as I say often, be the light. That is it for me today, dear friends, on the Danielle Moodie Show. I will be back tomorrow with Wajahat Ali at 12 p.m. Eastern for Democracy-ish. So do tune in there. Make sure that you are checking out my channel. Again, please do subscribe if you have not subscribed. I will be dropping videos over the weekend. I'm trying to add more videos to the weekend because, I mean, who needs sleep? Not me. Just kidding. I do need sleep. And so so do we all. But I am trying to create more content for you all, particularly on Saturdays and Sundays. So do make sure to pay attention to those. As always, dear friends, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke, stay sane. And in these extraordinarily dangerous times, dear friends, do stay safe. I will see you back here tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. Be well.